everybody, welcome back to Sew Me Sunshine. It's me, Harriet, here today on video. We've got Lisa and Celia in the studio packing orders and doing all the other wonderful things around the office, and we've got Jenny who's filming for us today as well. We do have Rose, she is currently asleep and fingers crossed that continues, and yeah, today's video is very appropriate for me because I love a floral print. I'm even wearing a floral fabric today, and the team have selected all our wonderful floral fabrics to show you guys today, and we're going to pair them with some patterns. What's great about all these fabrics is that they're great for this time of year, which is lovely and warm for us in the UK, but also they all do really well in the cooler months when you want to layer up. They'd also work really well. So we've got some patterns as well to give you some sewing inspiration, and yeah, let's get to show you the floral fabrics. So this is the first fabric we're going to show you today. I absolutely adore the pinks in this one, and obviously it's got a bit of yellow as well, so it's very on brand for Sew Me Sunshine. It's not a ditzy floral print, but it's not a large scale. There's my hand there for scale. This is a cotton poplin, so it's 100% cotton, lovely and breathable, but it's a poplin weight, so it's a little bit lighter than what you'd see with a quilting cotton, but it's heavier than a lawn. So it holds some structure, and despite it being a white background, it's completely opaque, so you won't need to line it. Just so that you guys are aware, we do sell a lot of invisible zips in various colours on the website, and actually the white here would work really well with this fabric. We're going to show you in a minute a load of patterns that would work really well with cotton poplins to give you a bit of inspiration. But yeah, this is one of them out of the floral collection for you to have a look at. So the next three I'm going to show you are also cotton poplins. So like the previous one, it holds its shape, so it's got quite a nice crisp finish. And these three are also opaque despite having the white background, so you wouldn't have to worry about lining them. They're 100% cotton, like I mentioned, so nice and breathable as well. So these three are actually the same print. So as you can see, it's covered in this really pretty berry design. You might recognise this design because it's used by another well-known retailer, but we didn't get it from there. It's from another shop that has used it, but it's a very, very famous berry print, and we've got it in 3 different colours. So this one is really gorgeous. It's got very like all greens and blues and a bit of rust running through it, so very transitional colours throughout the seasons. And Jenny and Celia picked out these buttons which work really beautifully with this fabric, which is our Merchant & Mills cotton buttons in bowling green. Works really nice, so if you pick a pattern that requires some buttons, this would work really well for this fabric. And then we also have the same print in this really pretty pink colourway, and again completely opaque. And with the pink colourway, Jenny and Celia picked out these beautiful buttons from Pigeon Wishes, which have elements of pink and orange and purple and lilac throughout them, which would just really work with this fabric beautifully. So again, if you pick a pattern that requires buttons. And then lastly, out of the 3, we've got this gorgeous blue colourway that has elements of purple throughout it as well. So again, it would work really well in the cooler months. And with this pattern, I should mention as well, it's not a large scale, it's very small. That's my hand there for scale. And also as well, you wouldn't have to worry too much about a directional print with them. And another thing to note is actually they're quite a wide fabric as well, so you'd actually get, you wouldn't need to buy a lot to make a garment. So this is our next fabric we're going to show you. These 2 are cotton poplins as well, so like I've just said, they hold their shape really nicely. They're 100% cotton and they're opaque. So this one is a beautiful orange and red tones throughout it. So again, a really transitional colour palette for you. I love the fact that it's got different size floral design throughout it, and again, because it's quite a busy floral, you wouldn't have to like stick to a direction at all. There's my hand to give you a little bit of scale. Really, really pretty, this one. And the team picked out these buttons from Pigeon Wishes, and these ones have like flecks of yellow and red throughout them, which would work really well with this fabric and would actually give it a really nice fun element. And then the same design, we've also got it in this really pretty green that I love. I love this colour green, and again, obviously I'm a big fan of yellow, I wonder why. And then it's got the blues and the pinks running through it, so really, really pretty. And the print to me is sort of quite a vintage feel to it, which I really love. And with this one, we thought the buttons, the cotton buttons from Merchant & Mills in the Petrova colour, which is kind of like a pinky lilac, would work really well, because it just works, this colour works so well with the green, and then it kind of highlights the pinky colours throughout it as well, so that would blend really nicely. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've also started stocking a little bit of rickrack on our website, and that's because we've seen a lot of it on the high street and being used by high-end fashion brands. We thought, why not restock it, and it will be really fun. And we just thought, especially with these floral fabrics, just works really well. So this is our jumbo white one, which is our Celia's favourite, who's our office manager. And as you can see, it looks really nice with that fabric. And then if you don't want to quite go for something as big, we also have a smaller one, and this size we've got in a few different colours as well, but obviously this is the white, which is quite classic, and I think it works really well if you've got like a big collar, then you can like highlight it with the rickrack, which I think would look really, really fun. So what we thought we'd do is show you some patterns that would work really well with the poplin fabric that we've just shown you. So first up, I'm going to show you the Cello by Closet Core and the Stevie by Tilly & the Buttons. So both of them have quite like a boxy shape, and obviously with the Cello you've got the more kind of emphasised sleeve, which will work really well with the poplin because it holds its shape, so it really show off that really nice sleeve shape. And with the Stevie, with the poplin, it would just structure it really nicely around the shoulders. It'd be nice and loose fitting, both of these, for the warmer weather, and it being 100% cotton, be nice and breathable as well. So both these patterns are really cool as well, because they've got versions that require very little fabric. So if you went for any of the poplins I've just shown you, they're wide width fabric, so you wouldn't need that much fabric to make either of these patterns. The next pattern we thought of was the good old classic Betty dress by Sew Over It. So it's kind of got very classic vintage dress pattern, and with this one you really need, because of the big circle skirt, you need a wide fabric, so the poplins would work really well, and because it's got that little extra structure, it would really show off that skirt element of the dress. And Lisa was saying that she'd made a Betty dress many years ago in one of the berry print fabrics, and yeah, she was like, that's what this pattern really reminds her of. And following on from that, with the big circle skirt, obviously you could just make a circle skirt without using a pattern as such, but you could also make yourself the estuary skirt, which is a really nice button down skirt pattern, and we've paired some of our buttons with the fabrics for you today to give you a bit of inspiration. And these skirt would work really well in them because they don't need lining, despite them having light coloured backgrounds, some of them, and it would, then you could pair with just a plain tee as well, and it would really show off that floral print nicely. And then following from that, we also thought about maybe using the flint trousers by Megan Nielsen. The culottes or the shorts would again work really well with the poplin because they have that extra structure. They would work well, but they wouldn't be overly heavy, so really perfect for warmer weather. And again, like the estuary, you could just pair it with a really nice plain t-shirt pattern, and then it would really show off that floral print on the trousers. And then some more inspiration for you. We thought of some blouse and shirt patterns. So we've got one of our favourites here, the Bakerloo by Nina Lee, and you could use the rickrack around the collar, would be really fun, and it would be a nice structure with the poplin. The Archer would work really well as well, especially this view, the classic shirt view, would hold its shape really nicely with the poplins and just work really well with like some pair of high-waisted jeans. And then we've got the Patina blouse by Friday Pattern Company, would also work well, it would really hold its shape, and again you could put rickrack on the collar. And then to finalise it off, you could also make yourself a dress, and something like the Florence dress by Merchant & Mills. It's like the oversized gathered dress, would work well with the poplins. It would be a very oversized look, which would again be really nice and breathable and breezy to wear during the warmer months. So now we're going to show you some of the cotton lawns that we've got with floral prints in the shop at the moment. So with a cotton lawn, compared to the poplins we've just shown you, it's got more drape, they're lighter, and because of the way they've been woven, they've got a really silky, soft touch to them with very little, no texture on them, just nice and soft and smooth against the skin. So this one is this beautiful blue, and it's got a very abstract floral design. So if you look really closely, you can see a flower there. But yeah, it's very abstract, and it's got this kind of linear pattern running through it. So it does have a directional print. Now, because of the lawns, they're lighter in weight, which is why they've got more drapes in the poplins. Some of the ones I'll show you, they might be slightly sheer. This one is very slightly sheer if I hold it up to the light, but again, you wouldn't necessarily need to line it, but it's something to bear in mind. But yeah, this is really pretty. And we thought of these beautiful buttons from Ethel and Joan with the blue specks running through them, would work really nicely on this fabric just because it brings out the other blue tones within it. And yeah, so if you picked a pattern that required buttons, these would work really nicely for this fabric. So this is the next cotton lawn we're going to show you. I've got it held up like this just because it's a directional print, and I really wanted you to see the beautiful traditional print. And as Celia said, it's Art Nouveau inspired. It's actually inspired from a classic, quite well-known fabric design from a well-known fabric designer. So it's very inspired from that. Really, really beautiful, very classic. It's got this floral print within the diamond shape. We've put it down as like bluebells because it does look like bluebells to us, especially with the blue colours with the floral as well. So as you can see, it's not like a traditional white in the background. It's almost got like a creamy off-white background. It's completely opaque, and I will show you some patterns that work really well with cotton lawns, but this one particularly, I just can imagine it sewn up into a pair of pyjamas. Just think it would be really classic pyjamas, would work well for anybody, and would be lovely sewn up as a pyjama set for maybe a present. So this is a more modern floral design, and it's got a mixture of different sizes of floral in there. There's my hand there for scale, and as you can see, it's got this white background, so it's very slightly sheer. So I would probably stick to using it maybe as for a top or a blouse pattern. It has this gorgeous bright colours running through it. For me, I've just picked it up and I thought this is Lisa in our office, she'd love this one. Yeah, it's very her and very beautiful, and again, just like the other cotton lawn, really nice and soft against the skin. So again, this is a cotton lawn. It's a little bit heavier than the two that I've just shown you, but it's still nice and silky against skin, and it still has that more drape that you would imagine with a cotton lawn. This one's opaque, as you can see. It's really nice bright red background, and it's covered in this really graphic floral print design. It's got very like modern print as well. It's got no direction to it, and it's very wide as well to note. And as the team just mentioned, something to mention about this collection, because they're all cotton lawns or cotton poplin, and we've got one cotton linen blend to show you. But they're really good fabrics to sew with if you're new to sewing, just because they're stable. So it just means that they're slightly easier to sew with because they won't slip around when you're sewing with them. So if sewing is something that you've only just started doing, picking one of these would be perfect for you. So again, this is a cotton lawn, and this one is actually made out of organic cotton, so it's got certified. It is a really unusual floral print because it's got this kind of like abstract geometric design in the background, and then it's covered in this really beautiful, almost like blossom inspired print. Because of the white elements, it is slightly sheer, so again, something to bear in mind. But it's lovely and silky against the skin and really nice and lightweight. So it's got a really beautiful billowy drape to it. So yeah, perfect for the warmer months. So as well as the lovely rickrack that we've started stocking, we've also started stocking a range of bias tape. So my favourite bias tape we've got in stock is this really fun gingham bias tape. We love gingham here at So Me Sunshine, so we're really excited to find this. And it's got a really pretty, like crochet lace type design as well on it. So be perfect for finishing your seams or even adding a little bit of extra to your me-mades. It'd be really fun. So we've got it in such a beautiful range of colours, and including like a classic black, and we've got the pink as well. So they work really well with lots of these cotton poplins and cotton lawns I've shown you today. Just add a little bit of special element to your me-mades. And some of the patterns that we've shown you require some bias binding to finish. So yeah, these would be really, really fun. But if you wanted to kind of stick with something a bit more classic, we also have a selection of colours in plain bias binding here. Obviously we've got a classic kind of black and white, and then we've got a few colours as well, and hopefully some more colours arriving soon. And just to follow on from that, we wanted to show you some patterns that would work really well with cotton lawns. So some of the patterns that we showed you with the cotton poplins would also work well with the lawns. It's just to bear in mind that because the lawn is lighter and has a little bit more drape, it wouldn't give you as a structured, crisp finish, which is what you'd get from a poplin. So one of the patterns that we thought of was any of our kind of pyjama patterns work very well with lawn. They're nice and lightweight, so nice and breathable for overnight, and especially like I mentioned when I was showing you this cotton lawn, I just think it'd make an amazing pair of pyjamas. So we thought of the Piccadilly pyjamas by Nina Lee would be really fun, and you could make the short version or the full length version, and like I said, it would make a really lovely gift to someone. Celia mentioned that you could make yourself the quilted jacket, the Megan Nilsson Hovia, which we actually struggle to keep in stock at the moment. It's very popular. It's got various views to look at, and for the cottons it would work really well in the following views, which is B, D and F. So all of this side here, these would work really well in the cotton lawns, and you could even use the poplin, but the lawns would work really beautifully and would make a really gorgeous jacket. I've seen lots of quilted jackets in Florals on the high street. So yeah, you could make your own one. And then we thought of some dress patterns that would work really well, would be some shirt dresses. And this is one of our favourite ones at So Me Sunshine, which is the Rita shirt dress by Named. Just work really well with the cotton lawns, just because it's got that little bit more drape, so it would work really well with this pattern. And there is some other shirt dress patterns as well, which would equally look really beautiful. So that's some little bit of inspiration for you for sewing with cotton lawn, and like I mentioned, you could use some of the poplin patterns that I showed you earlier. Just bear in mind they're lighter and they've got a little bit more drape, so it would give you a less structured finish. So the last fabric we're going to show you in this video is this beautiful cotton linen. So it's a cotton linen blend like I've just mentioned, so it's kind of a similar weight to what you'd expect with a poplin, but quite a heavy poplin. So it's lighter than our 100% linens that we've got in stock, but it does hold its shape and structure. And you wouldn't have to worry about lining it, especially because it's got this really beautiful bright blue background. So it's got that classic linen texture, and you can see this linen slub in the background as well due to the linen content. And then with the cotton, like I said, it just gives it a little bit more, it makes it a little bit lighter and gives it a little bit more drape, but it's still a structured fabric. So this has a beautiful floral design running all over it. It's really, really pretty. As you can see, you will need to make sure you finish your seams properly, but just because it has got that linen content, so it is prone to fraying. But it's not an overly large scale floral print, but it's also not ditzy. So if you're not a fan of ditzy floral prints, then this one's for you. Now with this one, I just thought it would work really well as like a two-piece, so a top and a little shorts, or a top and a skirt. And then Jenny thought, oh, you could make yourself like a faux play suit. So we've come up with two patterns that would work really nicely together. So one's the Hadley top by Grainline Studio, and if you can see here, you've got the sleeveless version there, and we just think that would work really well with this fabric. It would hold its shape really nicely, make it quite boxy. If you wanted to not tuck it in, you could shorten it slightly to make it more crop in length, but if you wanted to tuck it in, then you could just keep the length. And then we thought you could make yourself the Pietra by Closet Core shorts, which are quite structured shorts, and then you could tuck the Hadley within it. And then, like we said, it's a faux play suit, but when going to the toilet, it'd be easier to take off the shorts. But yeah, really, really fun, really versatile little set there, because then you could also use the top and pair them with a different pair of trousers or shorts in your wardrobe, or vice versa, you use the shorts and then pair it with like a plain tee that you might have. And I think, yeah, it'd be a really versatile little set and work really nicely together. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you loved our floral fabrics that we've recently got in stock at Sew Me Sunshine. As always, let us know below which one's your favourite and what you're planning to make with it. I hope as well we've been able to give you a little bit of inspiration on what to sew with cotton poplin and cotton lawn today, and I hope you also liked us pairing some of our haberdashery with them as well. So it'll be lovely to see you soon, and thanks for watching as always. Take care, bye!